done. One shot, one never done. One shot, one kill. The cavalry's here! Nerf this! Never done. I've got you in my sights. Fool.
Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start your engines.
One shot, one kill. Cheers, love! The cavalry's here! Nerf this!
我が敵を食らう
Play of the game.
Heroes never die.
Look.
There we
Hey
go.
guys, what's going on? Dire messed something up, so what else is new? It's the Nest. Hey, maybe that was just a massive April Fool's joke, right? Like, what if we did the whole episode just no audio? That's the joke. All planned, perfectly planned. But yeah, today I am joined by hotohori, Massive, and later we will be doing some interviews with Kaliwag, as you can see, a player on Team Burn, ACB, a player on Power Naps, and Tumiko, everyone's favorite top on Licorice Whip. So, shout out if you actually understand that reference. You were paying attention. Anyways, so yeah, today we're going to be talking about week 5 and looking at our general playoff picture and what we expect to see happen. So, let's go ahead. I am Blinker. Shut up, chat. So let's go ahead and take a look at the week 5 matchups and see how our casters fared in their predictions. Psst, Dire. Week 5 predictions.
Apologies, this is Dire Boy's first time being our producer.
There we go.
Scuff.
Lamau. Alrighty then. Now it's up now. Okay, so uh alrighty. So as we can see, Hodo and Massive both struggled quite a bit in minors, especially Massive, the supposed um I don't know what would it be like, all-seeing otter of the minors division.
Omniscient miners chooser. I went just with what he got, and I went down in flames with him. What the hell is that?
Yeah, so Greyhound Solar went ahead and upset Phantom Viserion 4-0. Echo 6 narrowly scraped by with a 3-2 win over Quantum Charge, upsetting the upsetters. Of course, Quantum Charge had previously upset Flashpoint, TBA, and Otter Oxide. Licorice Whip went ahead and barely lost to Blazing Pegasus, breaking everyone's hearts. Flashpoint went ahead and 4-0'd Expandable Odyssey, despite looking a bit shaky the past few weeks. And finally, the only match that I think was actually accurately predicted, was the Otter Oxide TBA match, which was 4-0 Otter Oxide. But that was because of a forfeit, to be clear. So now going ahead and taking a look at our day 2 matches. So day 2, we had Greyhound Solar barely, yet again, scraping by with a 3-2 win over Licorice Whip. Expandable Odyssey then lost 1-3 to Pen 10 Viserion, Flashpoint 1-3-1 over Blazing Pegasus, TBA 1-2-1 over Quantum Charge, and Otter's Oxide barely beating Echo 6, who had a pretty strong showing the previous day. Of
Alright.
course, of those, Hodo had one more accurately predicted, guessing the TBA Quantum Charge matchup. While
But so did I there.
Yeah, I know that. I think is a graphic error. Both of us went 4 and
is
1.
that a graphic error on the spreadsheet?
I-
It says quantum. He predicted.
I am
Quantum
much
Charge.
better at predicting than Hodo, excuse me.
I mean that 20%, dude. Just gonna say. You never know. But yeah,
So, does it say on the sheet that he actually predicted Quantum Charge over TBA?
it does indeed. It says he predicted Quantum Charge.
Ah, so that's why you're 3 and 2.
You know what? I actually probably did expect Quantum Charge to be TBA there. They were playing absolutely out of their minds for that couple of weeks, and Quantum Charge had a rough week this week.
Yeah, they were the people basically making the playoffs a mess there with wins over people who weren't supposed to. They were supposed to be getting wins from, and then just threw the whole sort of thing into a bit of chaos there because there was a very exciting week where Echo 6 ended up having their playoff destiny in their own hands, and it was very, very exciting to watch them pull off wins over Quantum Charge. And that actually let them into the playoffs, I think. So it was pretty cool.
Alrighty, well that was our minors matchups. Let's go ahead and take a look at our majors matchups, which we had quite a few interesting ones going on there. So in the majors division, we had Ghost Peppers getting the 3-1 win over Older Watch. Older Watch and CTA did not play, it seems. Bot Camp and Yes did not play either. Neither did 1516 Gold Gang. Okay, quite a few matches that didn't happen. Weird, or maybe they just weren't entered. It is fine either way. But yeah, let's go ahead. So VMT lost 4 to Furious Unicorns. Sorry guys, but I'm really happy about that. Boosted beat Boot Wisdom 3-1. The Megs lost 4-0 to Expandable Academy. What an upset. And Power Naps lost 4-0 to Burn. In terms of predictions, neither Hodo nor Massive predicted, Hodo predicted that Older Watch would win it. So, well, Massive accurately predicted the Ghost Peppers win.
Well, I wanted to predict the Ghost Peppers to win, but I circled the wrong thing when I actually submitted it to Massive last week. So therefore, I had to go with the Older Watch pick. Hopefully, it was going to go in my favor. It did not.
Well, you never know. I mean,
you always go for those going for those guys who the underdogs, and that's just not me. I play it safe, except for apparently in Miners Day 1 where you and I neither of us knew what we were doing.
That's exactly right. But there's a trick in picking. It's called never pick chalk if you want to win money. So in this particular case, chalk was the Ghost Peppers. So if you want to bet with good odds and actually get a good return, you sometimes have to pick the underdog. So
Fair enough.
definitely,
You know what they say in the world of economics? Sometimes you do have to take that risky investment.
Yeah, well, that didn't pay off for you in the minors division, did it?
No, no, it did not. No, it did
It didn't pay off to anybody in the minors division this week. Jesus, we were
Hey, it paid
awful.
off to me. I gotta roast you guys up. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and take a look at our day 2 matchups in majors division. We had let me pull it up. Bot Camp beat VMT 4-0, while Ghost Peppers beat. Oh wait, no, that's week 3. Zoop. You guys didn't hear any of that. So Burn barely lost to Boosted, by the way, 1-2, while Expandable Academy lost 4-0 to VMT. Wisdom OW, however, did get the upset, beating the Ghost Peppers 4-0. And Furious Unicorns did not play Bot Camp, and instead, I'm trying to jog my memory here. I do believe that we played Expandable Academy instead. I could be mistaken about that. I'm just trying to remember that off the top of my head. Now, to do some makeup matches, Burn did end up beating Wisdom OW 3-2, and yes, did end up beating Gold Gang 4-0. And because of that Burn win over Wisdom, that did actually impact the standings and the playoff picture, which we can take a look at in a little bit. But now, talking about Team Burn, let's go ahead, and we are joined by Collywog, the off-tank player for Team Burn. Collywog, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Well, so we want to talk about, obviously you guys had an incredibly close match with Wisdom, and an incredibly close match with Boosted, which was probably the most surprising out of all of them, I'd say. Of course, Boosted has been an absolute powerhouse thus far, and I want to know how you guys prepared to go up against Boosted, by the way.
Boosted, by the way, was a bit of a weird game because we prepared roughly the same amount as we prepare for every other team up until the night of, at which point we all kind of realized, oh crap, we should probably do a little bit more. So we sort of came up with a couple new comps, watched over some more videos, or at least I did. And I guess it turned out all right. We didn't win, but we put up a really good match, I think.
Definitely, definitely. Now, I also wanted to ask, so I know when I left in stage 1, there was a lot of internal conflict within the team. I want to know, how did you guys kind of bounce back from that state at the end of stage 1 into stage 2? I know stage 1, I think I want to say you guys ended in like 7th place or something. It wasn't terrible at all, but it wasn't great. And of course now you're in 5th place and or 4th, no, 5th place in a very strong standing. You're looking to go up against, I believe it's the Megs in your first playoff match. And I want to know, how did you guys really just bounce back and rebound?
Like, to be completely honest with you, the fact that we now have a consistent coaching figure and somebody who's keeping the team together in Girardi has really helped us out. He's, I'm trying to remember what, in our cast a while back against, maybe VMT? No, Expandable. And Empress called it Girardi's Fun Boot Camp, and I honestly have to say it's pretty accurate. He's really done us a lot of work, and it's really helped us out with a lot of our issues.
Alrighty, so Girardi is the master of them all. Seems alright. Well, Hodo, Massive, any questions?
Yeah, I called the Burn versus Wisdom match last night on the main channel. So, Collylog, take us through that match. You guys ended up winning 3-2, but it seemed like it was a struggle all the way through. What was going through the minds of the team there, going through the match? Because you had a pretty epic Volskaya there, which we thought was probably going to go like 8-7 or something at the end.
Oh, that was an interesting game for a multitude of reasons. The first map was everything we thought was fine. Everything was clean. I think we won 2-0. I don't remember. It might have been 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to the second map, and there was the unfortunate happening of Adam being kicked off the computer by his mom and us having to finish the second half of the map 5v6.
Oh, I remember that.
But, I mean, we actually pushed the cart from point A to the end of the map with only 5v6.
Yes, you did complete it, which was actually, I think, an achievement that people would underestimate because you had a Bastion go crazy there all through like point C, and it was actually very entertaining to call because we didn't know if you were going to complete it or not.
Nano tank form, watch out.
That's right.
It ended pretty quickly after that. Our second defense was a little scrambled, and they didn't have much to. We didn't have much to work with, and they had a lot more time than we did. So we kind of expected that to be a loss, but I'm happy we got so far anyway. Map 3, the Volskaya game, that was really close. It was also really long because it's Volskaya, and Volskaya
2 PP, am I right?
always goes so long. I think that's our first time not drawing Volskaya, to be honest with you, which is nice because we've drawn Volskaya a few times, and I think we played pretty well, other than the whole running merge on Pharah into double hit scan. That might have been perhaps a bad move, but we still pulled out the win. It wasn't too difficult, honestly, once we got our heads in check. I thought that was a really fun third map, at least. Fourth map was not as great for us, at least for me. I kind of fed my brains out, but you didn't hear it from me.
Hey, at least you can admit it, right?
But then you go into a control map that you honestly controlled relatively well because
Yeah, I feel like
going
we
into
saw
the
a very
advantage.
strong map for us. Yeah,
Yeah, 2-0 going into
That was
that.
definitely an intentional pun.
So with you guys, basically you didn't have anything on the line there, but you ended up dropping. It was Wisdom down a rank because you basically gave Furious Unicorns a leg up there because of the differential and the record and stuff like that.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you send Wisdom into a matchup against the Ghost Peppers, but you actually will end up playing. I think it's the Megs, right? So how do you
the
feel?
Megs.
How do you feel about your matchup? The Megs have just not been right for the last like couple weeks. I think they've had some player issues, and going in there, I think you have a real advantage going into the playoffs. So, any thoughts on the match coming up?
We got to do a little bit more preparation for sure. We're not there yet, but I feel very confident going into that quarterfinals matchup against the Megs. We haven't played them in a long time, but we've got a lot going for us. We've been on an upward swing. We've improved a ton, and I'm not gonna say any strats or anything we've noticed because you got to keep it confidential. But we've been watching some VODs. We've been trying to pay attention to some of their games from stage 2. It's been pretty good. We've been putting a little bit more effort into that semifinals match to prepare for, though. We just gotta do our best in the quarterfinals.
Be up against the winner of the Ghost Peppers. Oh no, it'd be the winner of the boosted Power Naps game, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be a really difficult game for sure. Either way.
Alrighty. Well, Massive, any questions for Colin?
I do. I did bring up my interview tie for this.
Whoa.
So I'm a professional journalist here. So Hoto did take my main question there, but I'm gonna kind of follow that up. In the end, if you do beat the Megs, you'll be coming up against Boosted or Power Naps in the semis. Who are you looking forward to? Who do you think has a better chance there? Do you remember the date it is? And like, what do Power Naps have to do to beat Boosted?
I think Power Naps just has to take Boosted by surprise. Like, they've got to pull out some crazy, never before seen strats to take Boosted off their pedestal, because Boosted's honestly an incredibly strong team with a really good coaching staff, and they really know what they're doing. So I suppose Power Naps has their work cut out for them, right? Like, they've got to do their best. And I think it's possible. I think it's definitely possible to beat Boosted.
Absolutely.
It's just going to be hard.
Well, my second question, which is by far the most important question, how often are we going to see you guys be running Torb, Bastion strats? And if it's not all 4 maps, why are you throwing?
Listen, I'm just going to say we've had Merge on Torb in a couple scrims. Just a couple. The Bastion role, we're not sure yet. We'll give that to Edix, our main tank player. I think that's the correct way.
Edix is a better Widow than Merge.
All I'm saying is Edix.
Don't think I'm memeing.
Enix has climbed 600 SR since joining Owlet, and I don't know. I don't know. Some of that's been on Widowmaker. You never know.
Fair enough. That's gonna
Yeah.
do it for questions for me. That was the most important question I needed to answer, and I really hope that we'll see at least some Torbjorn from Burn in these quarterfinals here.
You never know.
Yeah.
Kings Rose on the map pool.
Yeah, and good luck to your team in the playoffs, man. Hope you get pretty far.
Thank
I
you.
don't.
Appreciate it.
JK.
Yeah.
love you.
Oh man, I want to play you in grand finals, Prez. Come on.
Bro, I'm not even gonna be playing Smile.
Your team, at least. Your team. You can watch.
Smile. All right. Well, anyways, thank you, Colin. Definitely a good insight into how Burns looking to prepare for the playoffs as a whole, as well as just what they did to prepare for the rest of these, their matches. So now, as we were talking, about Burn beat Wisdom, and that of course impacted our standings. So let's go ahead and take a look at our majors standings to see how exactly, it impacted them and what we are now looking at in terms of the playoffs and just overall how everyone's doing. So in first place, of course, all standings are final now. In first place, we have Boosted by the Way, followed by Ghost Peppers, Yes, and Burn. And then in the bottom half of the ladder, we have the Megs, Furious Unicorns, Wisdom OW, and Power Naps. And apparently, I'm being told that they are subject to change a little bit. And that a few scores apparently need to still come in to be finalized. So, if we look at this, the big impact was that number 6 and 7 spot with Burn beating Wisdom OW. They fell to the same record as the Furious Unicorns, and with that 12 and 8 record, Furious Unicorns, of course, clearly has a better map differential, and thus are in 6th place. And so now Wisdom going to be going up against Ghost Peppers, and Furious Unicorns going to be going up against CS. But Hoto, both these teams, the underdogs in those fights, won the one-on-ones, which happened this past week or past 2 weeks. Like Furious Unicorns 4-0'd Yes, and Wisdom 4-0'd Ghost Peppers. I mean, do you think we can see that again, or were they just sandbagging?
I don't know if they were sandbagging. Ghost Peppers just are prone sometimes to having these bad games where they just look a little discombobulated. I think they'll want a little bit of revenge here on the Wisdom, so I expect that to be a little bit problematic here for Wisdom because Ghost Peppers will be ready for their playoff match. They've had a week and a half now, and we'll have more time to sort of prep for it. So I think they'll be okay. When it comes to the Unicorns, and yes, Prez, you can tell me more about that. I mean, how do you guys feel going into that match? Because Yes has been a team to be reckoned with, especially in the major division. So, losing here and there once in a while is not going to hurt them anyway because they're going to be ready for the playoffs here.
Well, okay, so Furious Unicorns, I can't leak too many strats, but I will say this. They've definitely been scrimming a lot and practicing a lot, but they're really hyped right now because like they upset at the time the number 4 and number 3 seed, right? They beat Megs and Yes. We came off a 4-0 win against VMT. We're coming off wins against some decently strong teams, right? I mean, these are some pretty strong teams we're going up against that we were 4-0ing. Not to mention the other matchups where we, maybe didn't do so hot like Boosted and Ghost Peppers. That was a 3-2 and 3-1 loss, right? We took maps off the 2 highest seeded teams. We were the first team to take Boosted to map 5, so we got really hyped about that. And I know energy-wise, they're in a really good place, and it's really just going to come down to can they show up? Can they show up against Yes like they did last time? Which I think they can. I think that everyone on that team's absolutely insane, and I think they'll be able to win it and go on to the semifinals.
PMA, that's what you guys need. Just keep that positive mental attitude, and I think you'll be all right.
Definitely, definitely. Well, real quick, let's go ahead and take a look at the minors division as Massive decides to show off his artwork, which you guys can't even see his lovely artwork. We'll show it to you when we go back to face scans.
I'm prepping for the next interview.
Alright,
Just you
bet.
wait.
So, for our minor standings, yeah, you guys will get to see that amazing artwork in a second. We have the top 6 are Flashpoint, Auto Oxide, TBA, Expendable Odyssey, Quantum Charge, and Echo 6. Of course, Echo 6 and Blazing Pegasus were really fighting for that number 6 seed, and Echo 6 barely getting in with only a 4-map differential, while at first place Flashpoint beating you guys out massive by 2 maps. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man. That's a big feels bad, man, right there. Absolutely. But in the end, Flashpoint is a fantastic team, and I really hope that we are able to play them again before this postseason is over, and hopefully steal some of their players before next season.
Can I make a point that Licorice Whip's 3-2 loss to Blazing Pegasus possibly cost them their playoff spot because it basically boiled down to differential, because they were unable to get a 4-0. That would have switched the places between Echo 6 and Blazing Pegasus due to head-to-head, I think. So,
You're
like,
right.
so therefore, you can say Echo 6 can say thank you to the members of Licorice Whip for that.
You know what? I think from a mathematical standpoint, you are absolutely correct there. So that match also, Licorice being able to push that to the map 5. I'm sure we'll be able to talk about that further in depth later. Was absolutely insane. That was such a fantastic map to watch, and I believe that's why they really earned their spot getting coached by the one and only Coach Shane.
And we'll be talking about that in a little bit. But now we are joined by the Power Naps player, ACB. ACB, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing lovely. Thanks for asking. And now you guys get to see Massive's little art thing. Oh, he's gonna keep working on it.
Sorry, 1 second. There we go. I had a little dot to it, make it clear.
I can't even see what that is. Let me zoom in on that.
It's a bow tie.
The bow tie. I switched from a straight tie to a bow tie for this interview, because clearly fashion is everything in here.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't have paper around me. Sorry. I could like Google image.
No, that's not enough. You need to come to these prepared, Prez.
Oh yes,
You're
I'm
a
so
professional.
unprofessional.
We are
Yo, bet.
journalists.
Here. Ready? Look. There we go. Problem solved. Like a tie, but really small. Alrighty. So, ACV, you're a player for Power Naps. What role do you play, and how are you feeling, going into the playoffs against the #1 seed, boosted by the way?
I'm the main tank player. You know, it is looking pretty intimidating to see that they haven't lost a single match, but I can tell that they aren't like invulnerable because they have lost maps. So it's not going to be like impossible, but it's going to be really, really hard. But I believe that if we come prepared, then we have a chance.
Alrighty. Well, I mean, definitely. Like, you just gotta prepare, but make sure you don't prepare too much for one team, and then you end up getting wiped out in the semis.
I
Now,
feel like if you prepare enough for a team like Boosted, then you'll be able to take any of the other teams in majors. I think if you can take Boosted down, you're set for the rest of the playoff series, and then you're gonna be the new champions.
yes, and Twitch chat is saying that you are the most handsomest main tank in all of Owlet. So congratulations.
I'm
To be
honored.
more specific, Fern Will Grow does call you indeed a daddy. So, how you feeling about that one?
You know, pretty great. It's a real confidence boost.
Hey, as a main tank, you have to be super confident, right? So,
Yeah.
like a couple of weeks back, you guys ended up playing for
Press that shift key.
yeah, basically baying for the spot against Olderwatch in a game that I thought was sort of epic for you guys, because knowing that pretty much playoffs were on the line in that match, you guys sort of pulled that sort of reached down and pulled out that extra gear and sort of came out with a 2-1 win. Like, tell me about the match a little bit, because it seems like you got a handle with regards to the rest of the league. You were sort of various results between the members of the top 8, but that match was just one of those things in which a lot of people were watching, because it was, I think, broadcasted by Love here on the main channel, and very much interested in seeing how you guys were going to do against a team that was like very resurgent and trying to sort of get back into the top 8 and try to see if they could earn that final.
Well, to start off, we actually, up until that point, honestly, we hadn't looked at any VODs whatsoever, and it's honestly really embarrassing. We just kind of went in blind matches. But that was like one of the first matches we actually looked at the VOD, and I think it was the match versus CTA that we watched against them, and we saw that they came out to start off like right off the bat with the Sombra, and we figured if we just run a McCree to start with, then that'll kind of give us an edge because we know that they're going to run the Sombra because they have a really good Sombra player. And other than that, everybody on our team was just playing out of their minds, and I'm honestly just really proud of all of them for that. Even if we don't get past quarterfinals,
Boosted.
like yeah, like
So would you call yourself a proud dad in that sense?
yes, I'm a very proud father.
All right, then. Thanks, Master, for that question. Now I have a question. Pardon the pun, but what is the main reason that you think people should not sleep on power nap?
The main reason that people should not sleep on power naps is, although 99% of the time we are bots, we have those random clicks where we just go crazy, and I don't know how we do it. But I honestly think that's the only reason we're not still in 11th place like we were at the end of stage 1. That and the fact that we picked up so many new people. We picked up Zigno, we picked up Fernal Grow, we picked up... I'm gonna seem like a bad team. We picked up a bunch of new people.
You know,
And,
everyone on your team, there's nothing to worry about in terms of
Yeah.
synergy for power naps here.
And
Right.
I just want to reference that if you guys remember that like highlight montage Ciagoli made a couple weeks back, you guys have, and I quote, the cutest little girl in Owlet.
We do. That wasn't communicated at all, by the way. He threw that in and somehow got that. It's amazing.
Look, who needs communication when you can just press Q? I'm pretty sure
Exactly.
that's what Overwatch is all about.
That's
Communication
exactly
is on
right.
the side. It's all about who can just feed and use those ultimates first.
Yeah,
that's why
and
half of
especially
our
when you're
team
playing
doesn't own
boosted.
mics.
So when you're playing boosted, make sure you get that initial kill on Loci like every other team does, and
Right.
then
Loci.
just go straight in because that will happen.
Dang!
Ooh, yikes.
Spice.
But that's what you got to do. Like he had an issue in stage 1 where he was basically sort of sticking his head way too far out, and he was getting picked. But a lot of teams refused to sort of go in on boosted. He sort of fixed that in stage 2, but you can still pick it off. You can still sort of see it in certain matches. So like boosted do have weaknesses. You just have to look for them.
Right.
Definitely.
And we're definitely going to be on the lookout for that. Because even if we can't beat them, like our goal is to take just one map from them. If we take one map from them, we will be satisfied. But that
One
is
map,
not what...
that's the goal.
That's the goal. If we can get past that, we're going for it.
Hey, make it the first map. Just
exactly.
Sort of throw them off.
Yes.
Make that first map the control point win, and then just see if you can throw them off and just use that momentum because it is good. It's win or go home. So there's nothing that you guys can do to sort of say, hey, you know what? Let's just throw this up against the wall and just go for it because I'm rooting for you guys.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, Hodo Massive, any questions?
I think I've asked everything I need to ask ACB today.
Yeah. So I just want to wish him good luck in the playoffs. And
All right. Well,
oh,
I
you
do
know.
have one. I do have one final question though. So now, first I have to ask: do you know the playoff map pool?
I've looked at it 3 times, but my memory is terrible. I'm surprised that I remember the match against Olderwatch. I'm not gonna lie, and that's nothing against them. I literally just it's I don't remember any of my matches.
All right. Well, let's say you theoretically get to the grand finals, right? Out of the following maps, which are you the most hyped and the most scared to play? Lijiang Tower, Rialto, Hanamura, Kings Row, Paris, Route 66, and Busan. I can repeat them if you need me to.
I got it. Alright, so probably the most excited to play either Hanamura or Busan. Least excited to
He
play
likes
Kings Row.
2CP. What?
No, you know what? I get that. No,
This
2CP turns into those Q parties, and those are exactly what it is, a party. You go in, everyone uses their ultimates, and by the next fight, it's up again, because that fight lasted 3 minutes. That's what 2CP is all about.
Yeah, that's our skill. Just Pressing
Press Q.
Q.
Press Q, forehead.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to have those pocket picks, right? Like with
Right.
Hanamura, it's one of those things in which if you practice it enough, that becomes a map that people don't want to play against you, and you want to play against other teams. So it could be one of those things.
All right, definitely. Well, thank you, ACB, for that lovely interview. And now let's go ahead and take a look at our playoff bracket. Because of course, Power Naps, Burn, we are just two of the teams that will be English is hard. That will be participating in the Owlet playoffs. So the first matchup we have is the Boosted by the Way versus Power Naps matchup. Hodo, Massive, who do you have winning that?
Considering ACB is still in here, I feel bad saying this, but sorry, I gotta go boosted. I gotta go boosted.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's going to have to be boosted for me too. But I'd really love to see how boosted reacts if Power Naps was able to win the initial control point, because I think a lot of people would be very, very freaked out by it, and I think maybe boosted might rattle them, but sort of have to go with boosted.
Alrighty. Burn versus Megs.
I'm gonna give the edge to Burn there. Megs haven't been looking super solid lately, to be honest, and I think that Burn can really take that match.
Yeah, I'm with Massive here. Megs have been on the down low, have been down on for the last couple weeks, and I don't know if they can sort of recover going into the playoffs. And I think Burn with Girardi as coach has stabilized. They've scuffed coaching. I think Burn will do relatively well, and I think you know what, that Burn boosted semifinal I think would have fireworks considering how well they did against them. So that would be a good one to sort of watch out for.
Now the Yes Furious Unicorns matchup. Reminder, this match happened either this week or last week, and it was a 4-0 win for the Furious Unicorns.
Yeah, I still gotta pick yes.
Well,
there's certain players on Furious Unicorns that I just don't have the confidence in. They say they're not gonna play, but in the end, I don't trust that they're
That's
gonna play.
definitely coming at me. That's like without a doubt at me.
I will take the upset here because I will go with the unicorns here because I do believe in Prez somewhat, and a 4-0 isn't
See,
a
Hodo,
mistake.
this is why you're on the finals nest.
Yeah. But slow your roll there. You got to win the match here, Prez. So like you beat them 4-0 before, but it could be that they knew where they were going to be and they didn't take your
Sure.
match seriously.
Then
So
writing is,
therefore,
of
and they
course,
were
a thing.
trying. Yeah, they were trying different roles, different things. But I believe in you. But it's going to be 3-2 because they're going to give you a game. So
you're taking a 3-2 win for Furious Unicorns, all right. And finally, the Ghost Peppers versus Wisdom OW matchup.
I'm gonna have to give it to Ghost Peppers there. Wisdom, they have done better in matches, but I think Ghost Peppers is just a safer bet.
This is a tough one because Wisdom actually 4-0'd Ghost Peppers about a week back. So Wisdom played them very, very tough, but I think Ghost Peppers didn't go prepared correctly into that match. So therefore, I'm going to take the Peppers also.
Alrighty. So you guys have Boosted, Burn, and the Ghost Peppers winning while you're split on the Yes versus Furious Unicorns results. That is definitely very interesting. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our Minors playoff bracket. Of course, this one is a bit different with some bye weeks being, or bye matches, I should say, not weeks. We don't do week playoffs. Some bye matches, number 1 Flashpoint and number 2 Team Otter Oxide. So let's see if I can actually remember it, or nope, I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull it up. 1 second, I'm not scuffed, I swear. Alrighty then. So, in the quarterfinals, we have the Expandable Odyssey taking on the Quantum Charge. Massive Hodo, who do you have winning it?
Expandable has been one of the only 2 teams to beat Quantum. Actually, one of 3 teams, I guess, at this point to beat Quantum in this stage. And Quantum, with how I would say inconsistent of a team they are, I would give that to Expandable. Expandable's just the more consistent team in the end.
All
I
right.
suck picking minors, and the thing about it is all of these matches in the quarterfinals, both the expandable and the TBA Echo 6 match can go either way, just depending on like the moon, essentially. But I am sort of, I don't know. I like Expandable Odyssey. Casted them in a match specifically, I think, against Quantum Charge and where they beat them 4-0. And I just like the way they played against them, so I'm going to have to pick Expandable.
Okay then. And then after that, we have the TBA versus Echo 6 matchup. Who do you guys have winning that?
If Echo 6 doesn't tilt, they can win that match. It just depends on whether or not mentally they stay in it through 2 maps. If they don't, they'll lose. But I'm going to say I'm going to go with TBA here because I just think TBA will be up for it and they'll be ready to win that match.
Alrighty.
I think TBA is a safer bet, but in the end, we've been seeing Echo 6 perform very well lately, especially in this past week. So I think they do have a very good chance on beating them. So I'm going to give it to Echo 6.
Alrighty then. So basically, you guys are split on the TBA Echo 6, if I heard that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But you both agree Quantum Charge is going to win the Expandable Odyssey matchup.
No, we're going with Expandable.
You're also
both of
split.
us.
Oh, you're both
Well,
Expandable. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going with Expandable.
Oh,
Are
sorry.
you going with Expandable?
I'm
Massive?
scuffed.
I was going for Expandable as well, yes. We were both going for
Yes.
Expandable on that one.
So let's talk about that then. So Expandable Odyssey, if they theoretically win, they'll go on to face Flashpoint. Do they upset Flashpoint?
I think it's entirely possible. It's not outside the realm of possibility. It's definitely not outside the realm of possibility. Again, Expandable Odyssey, kind of a team that's been slept on for most of the season. I think they're a fantastic team. I think they have every opportunity to beat Flashpoint. But I'm going to give the pick to Flashpoint because it's just a safe bet.
Safe bets or not, Flashpoints has looked good, even though they did lose Piper. So I'm gonna go with them too. But I'm gonna call it a close match because Flashpoint, they probably need to adjust a little bit, but they were looking good in the match that I casted for them. So I will go with them.
Alrighty then, and of course you guys are split on the TBA Echo 6 matchup. But tell me, who do you expect to see at the end of the day in the grand finals?
Echo 6 Expandable Odyssey.
Echo 6.
It's
So
a
you
weird...
expect you're gonna get upset?
No, I'm gonna go ahead with the bet that no one expects at this point. Who knows what's happening in Minors? Minors is such a random division. Let's go for the Echo 6 Expandable Odyssey. I love it. I want to go for it.
You could see it. I mean, like if we all both go wrong and Quantum Charge, picks up for where they were, you could theoretically see I could see a TBA Quantum Charge grand final also. So
And
who
according
knows?
to Steve Ronaldo of Team Flashpoint, Miners is just who throws the least Omega lol.
You know what? He's absolutely not wrong there.
He's not wrong. Yeah.
Just don't feed forehead, I believe is the new motto of Miners.
All right then. Now there is some other things I wanted to talk about. So we look at this bracket for the Miners playoffs, and I want to talk about Quantum Charge because they looked so strong, having upset the top 3 teams. But then they come back, replay TBA because of course Miners division, less teams. You play other teams twice, and they got 4-0'd if I'm not mistaken. Well, what do you guys think happened?
It could have been anything, honestly. Like the thing about it is like it just depends on the day, I think, in Minors and whether or not you're prepared to go into your matchups. And TBA had their number that day. And I just don't know. It's like, Quantum Charge goes into that Echo 6 match thinking that they're going to get an easy win, and Echo 6 beats them 3-2. So it's like, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, Massive, you can talk to the division even more, but every time I cast a game here, the person that I think is going to win has a much tougher time at it than what I think that they're going to go through too.
For sure, and actually, Prez and I did cast that game together. If I'm
we
not
did.
mistaken. We did cast that one, and
I remember this now.
When it came down to it, again, what I've said in the past, Quantum Charge is a good team. They just need to be more consistent. They get beaten by the top team. No, they win against the top teams, but then they get beaten by some of the lower teams in the division, and it's just kind of confusing to see them play as a team.
Yeah, playing up and playing down to your competition is I don't know. It's just sometimes it's a simple symptom of some teams, and
Yeah, I
it's just
remember.
sometimes not being mentally in it, or possibly just over preparing for certain teams and not preparing for certain others.
Definitely. I remember likening them to the Philadelphia Fusion, who also play up and down to their opponent's strength. Like, it's a very big risk. Like, you play up, that's great. But then when you start playing down to other opponents, you start to get questionable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and sometimes it's just the way it is. It's just sometimes it's just the way it is. It's like depending on the day and whether or not people are going to be available and the way that the scheduling sort of works. It's like who's going to be there on a Monday night to make sure that Quantum plays expandable. You don't get the necessary lineup that you need, or what you're going to do. So, but yeah, I mean, I think Quantum is probably going to be the biggest wild card because they literally could mess up what Expandable Odyssey does, and if TBA wins, Quantum ends up playing like Otter Oxide because we reseed going into the semifinals. So you might end up having uh, you know matchups that you just don't expect, which is why I think this sort of NFL style playoff here with the 6 teams is actually sort of cool.
Definitely, definitely. Well, now, as some of you may or may not know, Jane, assistant coach of the Dallas Fuel and head coach of Team Canada, recently went ahead and coached the Licorice Whip, a minors team in Owlet, who we have, and I know others have, likened them to the Shanghai Dragons, season 1 of Owl. So in other words, they went 0-20. So yeah, he recently did some coaching with them, and here's a clip from that. Let us know what you guys think.
Is there any kind of like distinct or defined roles within your comms? Like you guys
Hello?
are very very democratic with like how you're talking to each other. There's quite a bit of like discussion.
Hello?
You're saying.
Am I supposed to answer?
No, we're in a clip right now.
And there's sometimes that the discussion is happening at good times, and sometimes it's happening at bad times. Do you have any like assigned roles within kind of like a comm structure at all? Like one main shot caller who's responsible for, attack now, go please.
It's kind of supposed to be me, but like I'm a huge bottom, so like I am not the person to be shot caller. So I think people like sort of take over when my bottom energy comes out.
It's so true though. We did answer the question.
Okay, so you're confident with how you speak, but you're not very authoritative, or you like other people telling you what to do?
Yes, it's definitely the latter.
Okay, we're good. So I'm okay.
Oh, guys, we made Jin blush.
Oh my
He's blushing. I'm watching it. I'm watching it too. Good job, Sarah. Good job.
Oh my god. Okay. Is there a top on the team?
That would be Little Miss Top Miko.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be me.
Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do is gonna introduce a top and bottom comm structure, apparently. And the thing about a top and bottom is that they need to work together in order to get the best results. Because if the top is doing the best and the bottom just doesn't know what's going on, well, two things moving in opposite directions, just not a fun time make.
Alrighty, well, that was certainly an interesting clip, I
Informative.
suppose.
Informative for sure. Yes.
Well, we are joined by the one, the only, Top Miko of Licorice Whip, their projectile DPS. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing lovely. Thanks for asking. So, what exactly inspired such a response from you and Sarah there?
Honestly, I don't know. I think Sarah even said she didn't know.
I mean, you guys are famous now. That is like a viral clip off of Jane's streams. Like, like
Yeah, I heard we made a.
Fresh nuts, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's kind of a meme in our server that I'm the top.
alrighty. So, you guys obviously not exactly the best record in Owlet. But you did have the Australian coaching, which is pretty pog from Raza. And I
Yes.
have to ask, was there a noticeable difference when Raza came onto the scene, and how did he impact the team dynamic?
Yeah, there was definitely a huge change. Like, if you were around for stage 1, you know that we ran a whole lot of goats. Like, maybe the first 3 weeks or so, we did nothing but goats, and we weren't very good at it. And I think it's because we didn't know quite how to communicate. And with Raza coming in, he told us everything that we needed to do to help with the communication.
The Australian coaching god, apparently.
I have a question in regards to coaching specifically. I feel like you guys need to add on another coach. So I'm starting a small movement here. I didn't have enough room on my piece of paper here to have Love for the Licorice Whip head coach position. Love Gangster should take it over. He'd be perfect for the role, and but he has to be entirely in character as Blinker the entire time he's coaching you. Will you guys accept that?
I'd have to ask the team, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go exactly, seeing as how season 2's kind of sort of done for them.
Yeah, but I want to.
We got season 3 ahead. Look,
But there's always season 3.
Well,
yeah. What?
Yeah.
Sarah just said any new coaches would need to put up with a lot of inappropriate jokes.
I think after that clip we can see that now. So have you guys used any of that top bottom call structure now with that in terms of like practicing for future tournaments as a team? If you guys are still planning on sticking together here,
we
happen here.
I know that I want to. We still haven't really had a talk about it yet, but I'm down for season 3. I know a couple other people are, and I know that if I'm gonna continue to, if I'm gonna be the top energy, then I'm gonna need to memorize map locations because that is my weakness. I can't make calls if I don't know the map, right?
Look, in the end, tops really just need to know their landscape. That's entirely the point of playing top.
Yeah, that is true.
So Tomika, how would you grade your overall experience? You guys did end up going 0-20, but it sounds like you guys had a lot of fun through stage 1 and then through stage 2 with the coaching and stuff. I mean, it must have been hard going in and out, like, with some of the results, but towards the end there, I think most of the channel, if not the Discord, were rooting for you to get those wins. And like, did you feel some of the energy sort of coming through to sort of push you guys on to make sure that you were trying to see, hey, like, you can do this? Because I remember I was so excited. I saw you guys up 2-1 in one of the maps, and I can't remember if it was the Greyhound Solar match or was it the Blazing Pegasus one. And I think everybody just thought, like, this is good. This is going to happen.
Oh yeah, we thought so too. Like we were totally like, we had the mindset that we were gonna win this match, and like even, one of the pings that we had, we have time warnings. Sarah said our first win is going to be tonight. So like every match that we went into with the new coaching, like we had the mindset that we were gonna win, and it didn't happen. So that was a little rough, but we recovered from it really well, and we've really formed a bond as a team. Like I love these people, so I hope I get to continue playing with them.
Definitely. Now, you are of course the only all-female team in Owlet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think, right? I don't think we have another.
No,
right? I know Older Watch is kind of the closest thing to that, where they're all. I mean, it's kind of in your name, all older people. Like, most teams you got some like high schoolers and college
made up
students.
of a certain demographic. is how I would
Yes,
phrase it.
what a very diplomatic way to say it. Um, I guess that's the closest thing I can think of. But yeah, it's definitely you're an all-female team. I know there are other tournaments out there, such as I think there's one called the Death Blossoms, which was advertising themselves looking for casters recently. Do you plan on partaking in any other tournaments? I know you plan on sticking around as a like if you stick around as a team, do you plan on doing other tournaments or just Owlet?
Oh, we've already done another tournament. We were in the Death Blossoms tournament. Um, and we did actually win a match there, so we're not undefeated.
Hey!
Hey. And I'm also a part of Ganymede's Girls, which is another all-female community.
I was about to ask about
And
that actually.
yeah, I've participated in there on other teams, but yeah, anything that comes up, Licorice Whip is gonna want to participate.
Alrighty.
On the topic of Ganymede's Girls, actually, so it's a community that the whole point of it is to make gaming, especially specifically Overwatch, a better place for women. Have you seen a lot of stuff coming out of that community?
Oh yeah, I've been a part of the community for almost 2 years now, I want to say, and I've gotten a lot out of it. Like it's kind of cool being in a space where like being a woman is the norm, because anywhere else you go, it's probably like they're gonna assume you're male until you say otherwise. So it really changed gaming for me. It made I don't know, it feels like it's a lot less toxic than any other community, and we just think differently. Yeah. Oh, charity stream. We have a charity stream coming up. I need to do that plug right now. Hold on. I think they just posted about it, but it's coming up the end of April, I think. Somebody in chat, please help.
Alrighty, so
it is through Ganymede's Girls, yes.
Oh, Cithra is posting something, I think. 426 according to Sarah DG.
420, yes, 426 to 27, and we're planning to participate in that too.
So there's a charity stream on the Ganymede Girls Twitch, Discord. It's something
Twitch.
in their Twitch. Okay, so the Ganymede Girls Twitch is hosting a charity stream. I'm guessing it's a tournament of some sort for Overwatch, in which Licorice Whip will be partaking in. Did I get that right?
Yes.
And
and Cithra just posted it, and so did I.
And there's a link in chat about it. And of course, hey, go watch Licorice Whip 0-20 team get their first win in this tournament. They got coached by Jane. They got the Australian coaching. What could go wrong? Am I right?
And they'll get Love as a coach now that I've plugged him for it. Clearly.
Clearly. What else could possibly happen?
Well, Raza tried to get him in there too. Yeah.
Well, Raza and Love have a contentious relationship as well.
Oh, you mean Waza?
Waza, yes, Waza.
Waza and Love.
Alrighty. Well, Hodo, Massive, any other questions?
No, but it's like I'm just happy you participated. It sounds like you got everybody as Licorice Whip had a great time. So hoping to see you season 3, because that would be absolutely fantastic.
And yeah, thanks for allowing us in the tournament. I think we originally got turned down, and then somebody left. So like, I'm so happy that we were able to be a part of this.
We were glad to have you here. It was always actually, in the end, coming from the minor's perspective, having played you guys on Otters, we did say you guys were our favorite team to play because you were all just like, you guys had just the best mentality coming in and that positive attitude, which is what makes Overwatch so great.
Agree.
Did you find a scrim partner coming out of the tournament? Was there a team that you played a lot with just to prepare with teams?
Yeah, I think we went against Greyhound Solar the most, and I think we've scrimmed with them twice. And during the Jane stream, they were our partners.
Oh, fantastic! See, that's one of the things that I think a lot of teams forget is when you participate in some of these tournaments, you meet new teams that are at your skill level or slightly above or slightly below, but they can become the most useful when it comes to helping you trying to get to the next level. And making friends with a lot of teams here is definitely very helpful as everybody tries to climb up. So yeah, so it's great.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Now I have to give a quick shout out to Razarip and Merge for going ahead, Merge donating the money to Jane to make him plug Owlet, and Raza literally going in and plugging Owlet straight to Jane. Good on you guys. That was definitely some great stuff. But Hodo Massive, if you guys don't have any other questions, I do believe that just about wraps this up. This was the Nest with me, Hodo Massive. We were joined by special guest Top Miko. Sorry, not Tamiko. Top Miko. Have to get that right. ACB and Collywog of Licorice Whip, Power Naps, and Team Burn, respectively. Go check them out in the playoffs coming up. This was produced by Direboyd. Thank you so much. He was helped out by Silent Marine. Thank you, Silent and Areshkigal, for the graphics. Go check out the. I'm gonna mispronounce it.
What do you got?
What's the stream called? Tamiko?
The Ganymedes Girls stream, twitch.tv/Ganymedes Girls. And that's spelled
Yes, go
Ganymede
check-
like the one on Bastion.
Go check that out on April 26th. We will be back with another episode of The Nest on Wednesday, I believe it is, and we have some more stuff coming up for the playoffs, so make sure you check that out. We will also be having Coach's Corner, if I'm not mistaken, on Wednesday as well, so make sure you are here for that. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, if you're not already in the Owlet Discord, come join. It's a great tournament, great, amazing community. I hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye, chat.
Bye.